Testing, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's go get it. All right. So this morning I see STI being the bigger mover on today. STI. Let me see. What was I about to do? Oh, I was trying to set this up. STI moved up from $4 all the way to $8.83. Let's see. I think they won a contract, if I'm not mistaken. I think a graphite contract or something like that. Get this and there. All right, that looks good. All right, let's get over here. All right, so yeah, STI recent news, they ended up Solid Dion Technology and Oak Ridge National Laboratory win 2025 R&D 100 award for breakthrough sustainable graphite. Is the news there? Sustainable graphite. All right. Let's go look at the daily chart on this. Daily chart, it's like a high of 222. Had a little gap down here. Then started to trade down. Maybe had a reverse split or something in here. So high is here. So it's over this 555. This is 863 up here. So that's the first looking like obvious level. 860s possible daily. Okay, now let's back it on up. Okay, so multiple times at this 860 level, hitting it and finding some type of resistance there. Above this, the next level is what, 1248 or something up here into this gap. So I'll go ahead and duplicate, mark that up. And then, so this is going to be possible daily gap fill. Okay, so possible daily gap down, and then the one up above it, duplicate, that'll be gap up. That's 1487. So let me edit this, and this is the gap up. All right, so we got some levels there. Let's see, what else are we seeing out here? I'm seeing PMN, it's up 36%, so nothing is really around the level of STI just yet. Just walking down the list here. PMN, 74 cents, moving around there. So a couple of these on the watch. PMN continues to come on up. It's at 37% right now. I'm going to look and see if it has any kind of catalyst. Those are the top two that I see right now that are kind of sucking up catalysts and moving up very rapidly. Let me read down through here. What does PMN got going? It says it received a approval for a phase 1 Alzheimer trial. They're proceeding to a third dose escalation cohort. Some news from today. GEG, what are you? Great Elm jumps 51% after putting out earnings. UGRO only up 28%. Receives NASDAQ delisting determination. So they're fighting to regain NASDAQ listing on UGRO. Okay. So it came up here and hit this daily level of the 860 and kind of bounced down from that. It went through it, 883 just a little bit, bounced down. Point of control right now on STI is 718. 718. STI. Okay, add me a little bit of room over here and save. Perfect. So the top four right now: STI, PMN. What is this P? This looks like a weird one. What is this? It's got 7. or 13 million shares traded, but it's only 53 something cents. Swing high, swing low, huh? All right, let's go look at the front page of what we got out here. All right, so corporate maneuverings alone can reverse customer shifts, creating narrower, more thematically focused operations are one way to tackle the problem. So Heinz ketchup and all of that is trying to solve some issues. Google soars after judge blocks Chrome sale. Google soars after judge blocked Chrome sale. Dollar Tree raises annual targets. Oil turns lower on report of OPEC to consider fresh supply boost. Bond sell-off deepens with longer debt leading losses. Google's AI rivals get a boost from data sharing order. Trump pushes for Supreme Court emergency hearing on tariffs today. Trump accuses Xi of conspiring against U.S. with Putin and Kim. Fed rate cuts and doubts over independence to keep U.S. dollar under pressure. Transit Tech. Let's see, Neptune Insurance. Trump asks Supreme Court to save tariffs but faces tough legal questions. Right. All right. See how all of that rolls out. Today is the 3rd. Is there anything special going on? Just a commercial paper, beige book, and selected interest rates. Okay. Back over to STI, our leader on the day, up 150%. I probably do need that, actually. So float on this one is showing right around 1 million in the float. All right, STI again facing some trouble. On the 1 minute, let's jump to the 5 and jump over here so y'all can see the 5 and 15 on a single chart. Zoom in just a little bit. So this is the area that we're trading on the 5 minute. Well, this is the whole move here. And then this is the 15 minute. Point of control, 724. So right around that 725 level. Can I define float? So float is like the rotational shares to trade on a stock, right? So what I mean by rotational shares, let's say that you have supply and demand. Float is your supply that's sitting out there, right? How many shares can be traded on this specific ticker? The lower the float, the more explosive. Because let's say you have 10 apples. You have 10 apples. And you have 20 people that want those apples. Well, as the quantity of those apples decreases, those people want those apples more. So let's say you, like I said, 10 apples, 20 people. Let's say 5 people grab apples. That means you have 5 apples left. And you've only fed 5 people, right? So there's still 15 people to feed with 5 apples. Those apples is the float, the supply that's readily available, right? So now this increases the demand for that because there's a low supply. And it's the same thing in the stock market, right? You got these floats, a million or whatever. If you got a million shares in the float, and let's say, a couple people want to buy this, but let's say some of them have a lot of money. They want to buy millions and millions of shares of this thing, right? They want to buy almost the whole company. Well, what does that leave for retail? It increases the demand, especially when it has a catalyst. It increases the demand, and as those shares get swapped up, that's what creates these big range movements, right? Because people wanted a price. Let's say the price of the stock is, let's just say for the sake of small caps, the price of the stock is $2, right? And it's got a float of, I don't know, a million, under a million in the float. People are swapping it up, buying, buying, buying. And it now has increased the demand. So the price increases, right? Now let's say it jumps up to $3 because so many people wanted it at the $2 price. Well, let's say we try to wait around for it to get back to the $2 price, but some of those people that bought at $2 want to take profit. They start taking profit. Then we get these sell-off slopes, right? Like this one right here. So came up to 883, and somebody saw that this was a daily level at 860, and they said, oh, I think we want to sell. So they sell and create a new supply in these dips for new buyers. Now, do people want it at this price when it started down here? It started at 426. This is where the demand was I guess the most premium, right? Oh wow, $4, boom. Then a little sell off. New buyers come in, boom. Oh, a little bit of dip, boom. Another little, stagnation as people take profit, boom. And so all these little dips and trends and whatnot are because people are trading that low float. But the range is what kind of shows you what kind of float it has. These big ranges moving from 5, even though it grinded this, still it moved $2 here from 5 to 766, right? So it's just the supply and demand, right? And if the buyers don't want this price up here at $7, well, it'll just continue to sell off until buyers reach a point where they're like, okay, I think this is a deal. It's kind of like shopping too, shopping in a Walmart or anything like that. Let's say if they have a rare, I said Walmart, some kind of place with, more rare things, not things that you can get everywhere. Just rare antiques or whatnot. If there's a limited number, but the people that want it is bigger, and it's like an auction. I keep jumping around. It's like an auction. You know, hey, who wants to put in a bid? What's the asking price? Let's look at both of those and determine where the value is, or if this thing is over or undervalued, right? Let's say they try to sell you some kind of dinosaur bone, and there's 2 of these dinosaur bones because the dinosaur only had 2 legs, and there's 40 people that want to buy it. Well, that demand is going to be kind of high, you know. Now there are some things where it's like, is this thing really worth it? Like, let's say diamonds, for instance. Um, And if you put diamonds beside other things like gold and other things that we actually use a whole lot, copper and all of this stuff, it's like, is this thing actually worth it, or is this a sentimental value? Is this something that is tied to people's emotions, right? What can this thing be used for in complex, systems or mechanisms or whatnot? Is this thing worth it? So that's up to you as an investor to be like, okay, is this supply? I know this thing has low supply, but is there a reason for me to be purchasing this at a higher price than it started, right? And so like STI, it's news they got a one contract over here. One laboratory wins 2025 R&D 100 reward, which is great for the company. But you as an investor coming in behind that news, $3 away from where it started, is that worth you buying at these prices? And I guess that could even stretch out to the longer term investment as well. You just take an idea, say, okay, well, this is the idea. What is the supply? What is the float of this? If you're doing small caps, sometimes it doesn't matter with large caps. You just kind of trade specifically on the idea and don't really worry about the float, because you can look at the market cap and see, how it's valued. But yeah, float. I hope I answered that. I know I jumped through several different examples, but it's supply and demand. It's people line up to get a product. As that product slims up, the demand goes up. If it is not worth it, you will see those big sell-offs. Those sell-offs that we see that is like drops like $2-3 or a halts down, and it ends up opening up way lower. That's why it wasn't worth it in the first place. Hmm. Yeah, STI. It's coming back down to this previously traded level, point of control of the 719s. I also see another one up here called Cent. Cent. SINT, $6.85. Let me look at the news over here. It says it publishes a landmark study demonstration, broad spectrum antiviral activity of silicon nitride. Mm. For SARS to COVID. Okay, so this is some COVID type stuff. Let's go look at the daily chart over here on Cent. All right, so daily chart closed at 457 and is now trading at 709. Let's back this up a little bit. Okay, so apparently I made a mark up here for some reason at some point in the past. But it got up here and touched this 738 here. Let's go ahead and mark that up. So I will activate 742. It's looking like a spot, possible daily. All right, so let's back this up a little bit. There's another little spike up there, 860. Duplicate this. That may be a possible daily as well. Mark both of those. Come on, back a little bit. So 863. All right. So this is like a COVID news catalyst. Know how that's gonna do. This is the 1 minute. Let me show y'all with the 5 5 and the 15-minute are looking like. So this is the 5-minute right here, straight up, and then the 15 pushing on up there, continue to challenge that $7 level. Pre-market traded heavy around the 5. ATR looking like 50 cents and 66 cents on STI. Those are the biggest ATRs, the biggest ranges that we've seen during this error. Let me see. Let me read this. So it says, now what information are you trying to gather here? I know you say don't trade pre-market. No, I don't say don't trade pre-market. Definitely don't say that. I will definitely trade pre-market, but I definitely want to do my due diligence because pre-market is kind of like the time that they give you to show you, hey, there's excitement over here, and I want to gauge the or I want to kind of have a evaluation process of, is this thing worth the move that it's doing? Is it worth the excitement here, right? And so while it's doing all this piddling around, showing us that it whatever pattern that it has, I'm like, okay, well, let's mark up the levels. Let's see some turnaround points. Let's see where it can actually possibly hold. And also I want to try to find the most obvious levels, like the levels that just anybody could just come out to the chart. And if you were to ask them, hey, point out the highs and lows or point out the highest points that you can see on this chart, right? Most obvious, not things that are kind of, let me show you, not things like, so let's see. So something that's just in the mesh here just doesn't make sense to make an obvious level. Like I wouldn't come out here and be like, hey, this right here is an obvious level. 297. How does that look like an obvious level? It's got all kind of patterns through it. It's got, it's got everything through it. So how is that obvious? I'm looking for something that's like, this is a tip top. Somebody could point this out any day of the week. 737. Same thing with the bottoms. Somebody can point out a bottom every day of the week, right? So I'm kind of looking at the tops and bottoms of these ranges for obvious levels that could be attack points for longs. Now, on the flip side, you could do the other way for shorts, and some shorts will be shorting at these levels, and sometimes it works out for them. Sometimes it does not, and we see short squeezes, and they end up having to cover. But that is information that we don't know what will happen there, right? We don't know if it's going to blast through there. Sometimes it takes multiple times. It'll try, it'll fail, it'll try, it'll fail, and that's where people get chopped out. It goes against them, and you're down, a good amount, and you have to sell because you're in pain. And then it reverses as soon as you sell. So I'm looking for the obvious points first, and I also want to look at what the news is. So this one is SARS-2, COVID, MERS news or whatnot. And I mean, during this time, I can take notes. I can do all this stuff. I'm not really in a rush to trade in pre-market. Not saying I won't trade in pre-market because I will. I'm just saying there's no rush. It's the beginning of the day, and news is still dropping. So, this thing could easily dry up in volume, and then all of a sudden something else runs right past it. So that's why I'm like, okay, let me just do my due diligence, because usually by the time I'm done with my due diligence, something new, if it's going to pop up, pops up. So just kind of rolling into it, slow rolling into it, watching the action on the day, and trying to find obvious levels. And if there are really obvious pre-market levels that get tested multiple times, then I'll take note of those as well. But pre-market, trusting those levels over daily levels, I'm not sure I would do that. I'd rather see the daily levels and be like, okay, that's that obvious point on the daily. Let's jump back up here. I see IPDN just popped back up, but I don't think it's gonna stick around. Let's see what IPDN is doing. This is a grinder from the other day. Does it have any more news on today? It does not. Okay. So it definitely was grinding around, but I think it's got a lot of competition on the board with not GEG, SINT, which is making its way down. STI. With these two highs as well. Yep, exactly. Supply and demand, man. Supply and demand. Crazy thing is, when you trade a security, it's almost like the market is sectioned off into different sections. You got a large cap section, you got a mid cap section, you got a small cap section every day, and then you got the OCT markets and all of that. In these sections, you have a variety of things that may be moving on the day. Sometimes there's nothing there. You may go into a small cap section and it's dead. You're like, there's no catalyst. Volume's dead. Everything's choppy. Oh my goodness, let me get out of this section. Then some days you're gonna come in and there's like 3 or 4 100% movers, and like 2 of them may have catalysts. So you're trying to decide, okay, this thing has volume, it's up a lot, but it has no reasoning. So am I going to put my money over there, or do I want to see what actually holds up on the day? Especially when it's outperforming. Let's say it's like something that has no catalyst is outperforming everything else in the small cap section of the store, and it's like fireworks over there, but no reasoning. Then that's just your risk tolerance. You got to be like, okay, well, I built this system that is supposed to protect me. Let's say I don't want to lose more than $1 per share, or even lower than that. Let's say I don't want to lose 50 cents per share, and you get into a trade and it may or may not work out. Just because there's fireworks doesn't mean it's gonna be something that is easily, especially if you're getting in and out like hyper scalping, doesn't mean it's gonna be easy, because those stocks can get super choppy. You can get chopped out pretty easy, especially on a big range. But if you have an idea or a catalyst there, it could make you hold a little bit longer, which can still be a bad thing, because good catalysts can go down forever and then pop up the next day. So either way it goes, it's pretty much risk management. Let's say you get into something and your management says, hey, I don't want to lose 50 cents on this, but it's got a good idea and it stops you out that 50 cents. And then it goes up. Well, you followed your plan, at least, right? You kept to it. Once it hit 50 cents, you were out. But it still went. It had a good idea. It just stopped you out. But usually when things don't have a catalyst and they get going down too much, the volume slowly dies out on them, especially if there's something else or multiple things coming up behind it with catalysts. Volume just ekes on out. All right, let me look back over here. PMN just continuing to go on down, only up 12% now, so that thing fell all the way down charts, taking that off. Let's see what else we got here. SIN, SINT. See, like STI kind of just slowing down in here, getting more wiki. And SINT coming on up. SINT only has 8 million shares traded when STI has 32 million shares traded. When it comes to the float, SINT has about 2 million shares in the float. 2 million shares in the float, and it has 8 million shares traded. So people are definitely getting in and out. In and out. Hard to obviously point it out too much, but what will you see that will make you want to buy in one of these? To be honest, I really like in pre-market, I really like good catalysts, like catalysts that is going to um catalyst that is good for the company and it is positive for investors. Buying those dips would be more appetizing for sure. Like some of those days we see things that go up, like during the crypto strategies or whatnot. Those types were kind of everybody was on the fence for a while, and then they started exploding. More and more people were like, "Hey, these companies are getting into crypto. They're getting exposure to new securities, but also, also still having exposure to the stock market." So it's kind of like you're getting a twofold trade deal as an investor, especially if you don't want to touch the crypto yourself. So let's say like that one we saw last week where they were getting into like Chainlink or some kind of crypto, and you want to buy that company and you say, okay, I think this company can hold up. Now, mind you, these are small cap companies. So holding a small cap company, there's a reason they say they're so volatile. Yes, you would have made money on those days, but if we were to go back and look at those stocks now, they've receded all the way back to where they came from. So, it's kind of like, hey, we're here for the party and we're leaving at the end of the night. It's not so much, a long-term investment. And I had to, man, that's one of the things that, having small cap trades that turn into like swing trades are the worst. You might as well just go ahead and sell out because you don't know what's going to happen. This thing is super volatile, and your best guesstimation may just leave you very hurt. You could wake up in the morning, it could gap down. It could have been up at $7, and now, oh no, it's at $2. So I much rather, if I'm gonna be turning a trade into a swing trade, it's gonna need to be a mid cap or a large cap to see a reversal on the next day or something like that. And so that's the only way I would even think about doing that. These, if it goes the wrong way or it's just not behaving the way that I thought it was gonna behave, I'm just gonna cut it. I'm like, it is what it is. I'll take that L, even if it does reverse and go the other way. SINT. This is the second time it's been up in this level, right around this $7 whole dollar level. Because trading is definitely fun, but you can definitely blow a lot of money for sure on trading. Um, and that's why I like to take all the types of trading that I can. Long term, short term, swing and all that good stuff. Everything is I try to use everything. Crypto, I use all the vehicles. Get paid dividends, get paid for staking and all of that stuff. I just want to play it all because I feel like, there's so much opportunity, and like if I take a loss in this little account, it really doesn't hurt me because guess what? It's coming back on the dividends. It's coming back in the staking. It's coming back in some of the other investments that I have that are just sitting there making money. So I'm like, it is what it is. It is what it is. When I first started trading, I did this. I said any money that or any losses that I take, I'm going to funnel those losses into a like a savings or like a refill account. So basically, let's say I'm trading and I take $100 loss. Well, I say, okay, well, lost $100 in that trade. Let me put $100 into this refill account. So at any point, I could just refill an account off the losses if it gets to that point. Oh, what was that? I just saw the 8AH something. It disappeared. Oh well. Yeah, nothing to see here. Never hold the bag, man. Never hold the bag. Let me see what see, hard to point out. Yeah, RexCon. Yeah, those imaginary lines. That's what I want to see, man. Those imaginary lines. What do people actually believe in is the question. AIHS is the one I saw pop up here and then it disappeared. AIHS. Let me see what it's got going on over here. Looks like it's got a lower volume though. Does not look like it has any kind of news on today. Probably end up going down here quickly. All right. Let me see. Pre-market, obviously, we know our volume plus catalyst, but when a stock has gone up 150%, yeah, that's the hardest thing. It's like, when is enough enough? When do, shorts, or I don't know, when does the majority of shorts say, hey, we're not selling anymore, or we're not covering anymore. We're just gonna hold this position until this thing dumps, right? And that's in all of these situations, your actions in a trade could kill you, right? So yeah, there's sometimes you get in low into dips and it works out great. Then there's sometimes you get into a dip and it just keeps dipping. Then there's sometimes that you play levels and they work great. So nothing's 100%. It's more like, take the opportunity while it's there and capitalize and just, chill out, sell off, and take your profit, because it's something else. Nothing to see here says you traded HWH yesterday, got over $1 a share. Yeah, I saw HWH. That thing went wild yesterday. Where is this? Yeah, it went from what, 250, and once it got going, man, there was little to stop it for sure. Got up here to 465. Where did you end up trading it at? Where did you get in around this level, $5? Did you get down here of 2? Because it definitely was some motion there. AIHS is continuing to make moves up here. Let's see, is it popping up here? Not seeing it just yet. It's got 1 million shares traded. Should be popping up soon. It's got an ATR of 30 cents. AIHS. All right, so this is our guy AIHS out here. Let me see. I did not see any catalyst for this one. Am I tripping? Last time, let's see. I see something on 827 trading halt. Halt. Okay. Not really seeing any catalyst on this one. Just moving up. AIHS. Wait, where'd it go? 57%. So let's go to the daily chart on this one. Okay, so AIHS, this is the daily chart that popped up for me. Let me zoom back and see how much information it's got here. So let's zoom back in. See, it had a little gap down here from what looks like 9 down here to 640. Where is it at now? 399. So it closed yesterday at 240. And now it's right up under this 399 level. So I'm like, is this an obvious level? 399 out here. Where's the obvious points? Now I see this gap. This gap is obvious, but can it make it there? So I'll throw in a couple of possible gap fill levels, but not exactly clarified yet. Possible gaps. Those are the only two really obvious levels that are sticking out. Other than that, I mean, down here in this flatness, there's not a whole lot of, oh yeah, this is it right here at 323. That just doesn't look like obvious to me. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure. I just see these possible levels on this gap here. Other than that, down here, it's right at the $4. It just touched 4 again. It's got a high of 4 on the day. And let's look at where those levels are up there that we got way up here to that gap fill. So we'll see what it ends up doing with no catalyst. So it is behind other things that actually have catalyst. STI that I need to bring back in. STI here. And Cent only up 33% now, so it's kind of going down. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Nothing to see here. If I'm gonna be a bag holder, let it be in a company that has value. Micro caps, I mean, the gaps that they can do down is just, it'll kill you in the morning. You know, you're like, oh man, this thing was something something, and then during the night they say, oh yeah, we're doing a direct offering, and you lose everything. Like, let's see, money moves right there. Yup. Best move recently for you was APLD. You bought at $6. She's sitting around 15, 17 now. Oh yeah, I saw that one moving up. I think Mike D was trading that one as well. Let's see. Okay, so Cent is going on down, only up 29%, so it's becoming a 20% struggler there. AISHS coming up 25 cents above that $4. Let's go look at what the 5 and the 15 look like on this one. So the 5-minute here, I mean, both of them just look bullish. Hasn't had a red candle as of yet on AIHS on these higher time frames. AIHS has about a million in the float as well, making its way on down back towards that $4. Point of control is all the way at the top here, so the majority of the people, the majority of the action is happening up here. And I'm wondering, is it selling because of this extension? You can see little light volume moves in the blue here, then all of a sudden big moves up here. So are people getting in for the next leg up, or what? Yep. Okay. All right. I was asking questions about you, but you know, it's got 5 million shares on that one. Still in competition with STI with 33 million shares. $33 million. All right. So wicks on the 1 minute. Let me look at the 5. This is the first 5-minute red pullback on this one. Kind of like indecision right around this 415-ish level. And I'm seeing 350 as a point of control down here, and then I'm seeing 393 right around the $4 level. So we'll see where it chooses to live here. But wicks going both ways on the 1 minute. STI, almost no motion anymore. Very choppy in here. This is when it gets dangerous. Very choppy. Cent 605s still up 32%, but I'm thinking AIHS may catch up with it. This is its first kind of real dip on the 1 minute. So let's see how much it dips. Does it want to go any more? Looks like it's stopped at the $3.96 $4 level there. Question is, will people want to buy it back up? Let me see what AIHS is. AIHS. Okay, so it is Sin Miao. Whoa. Oh, this is a Chinese company. Sin Miao Technology Limited. Sin Miao. Okay. Engages in automobile transaction and related services business in the People's Republic of China. It also provides car rental services to individual customers and auto finance solutions through financing leases. In addition, the company engages in automobile sales comprising sale of new purchased or used cars and the provision of supporting services. Further, the company offers new energy vehicles leasing, automobile purchase, and management services. Okay. All right. So cars in China, basically. Uh, Shangdu, the People's Republic of China. Getting some love to the downside. 6 million shares traded there. And Cent making its way back up. Cent coming back up to 40%. But still, it's not the top gainer anymore. Only 35% up. So I'm wondering, is it going to be able to capture any kind of big move back up to these levels of 718? It kind of, these 718 humps, it's got some work to do to get back up there. Yeah. All right. STI. Nice little push down there. Cent coming right back down to that $6 level. AIHS slowing down here. Let's see, this bottom was 375. This was a previously traded level. It may see a bounce out of here because this was previously on the 1 minute. Let's go look at the 5. Right in the midpoint of this. Getting a little bounce out of there. Can it actually hold up on this little Chinese company? Probably can, I don't know. 62% up. Still half the volume of everything above it. Half or triple, or, you know, 1/3 of the volume of everything else. Yeah, there's yeah, Cent is giving up the ghost, looking like here. Not looking the best at all on that COVID. It's COVID-2 SARS news on this one. So definitely didn't hold up this level, testing the bottom side. Would pull back up to the 370s. Point of control just moved down to 382. Lot of volume came in up here before this downturn. Will it be able to save itself? Up 48% right now. Slipped almost 20 cents past the previous little traded area here. That traded area may become some type of resistance at that 370, 375-ish level. But kind of looks like it wants to continue downward a little bit. Okay. 350. So at this point, where's the obvious levels? If we look at the daily chart here, where's the obvious levels here that it's slipping down to? I mean, so 317 was this previous level right here. You know, then further than that, it's just hard to see an obvious level here. And it continues to slip down because it's not finding any obvious levels. Nobody is jumping in this one. All right, so it's only up 39% now. Cent. Continue to play around this 590, 589 at 29%. STI continues to throw these big wicks. I remember somebody sent me a picture. Let me see, it was in Discord of some wicks that they had on their charts. I was like, "Is it wicking?" And they sent me a picture, and it looked like a little barcode on there with the wicks. I was like, "Yeah, that's not great." Who was that sent that? Let me see. That was Mike in the Discord. Yeah, that was, what ticker was this? I can't tell which ticker this was. Yeah, that was some evil wicks right there. But no matter what, somebody's always going to be making some money in the market. Whether it's the market makers, retail, somebody's making money. So on those wicks, somebody probably made thousands of dollars. STI, again, we've seen these wicks come out. Let's see if it continues to snatch down. SINT only up 28%. So now STI is kind of leading at this point because the other ones are 20% strugglers. They're on that struggle bus. Yep. Cents and these other ones, it's just, they're not looking too worth it. Oh wow, AIHS took its socks off and it is now laying on the couch. So yeah, that's not great. These Chinese stocks are always, I I try my best not to mess with them. They always kind of do you dirty. They'll give you some good moves, but it's like once every blue moon, and then all of a sudden you get caught in something and it never returns. Never returns. Yeah, cent about to go back under 20%. Yeah, I think those are done. Those are done. So I guess my question now is that can this get back up towards this 862 here? It's tried multiple times. I haven't really seen anything else swing in. What is that? 66. Yeah, haven't seen anything else swing in too hard. 750 level. But it's graphite news. That's the only thing that was kind of had me on the fence about it. Is graphite news. 802, so that's the previous level that it actually tried. I wonder, can it touch 802 again? $37 million shares traded on it. Nobody expects it to do anything because it's graphite news and it's just getting choppier. All right, AIHS, I'm going to take off. That one is down through the dirt. Cent, again, just not in the realm that we needed to be in. Let's see about this 750 that keeps trying to hold here. Can it touch $8 again, I wonder? Breaking this 768. So I got some in there at 759. Just to see if we can get a ride back up. Only 20 shares, nothing crazy. Can we get that pop back up over this level? Bottom side of this is 722. I'll stop out there. It's the third time it's come up here. 1, 2, 3. I was looking for it to be a fourth time where it ends up blasting through this, but we'll see. There's a little bit. See if we can get back to 8. If not, I'll be stopping out around this 729 level. Actually, probably not even that far. Let's just see where it goes. Still up 134%. Back past 750, I think I'm gonna go ahead and sell it though. Let's just see what it wants to do here. Had that $8 up there, which was a questionable spot. It's hitting the bottom side, 775. Can it continue to push? Don't know. $750 ready to sell. Holding up a little bit, but look at this 5 and this 15. Does it actually want to do one more ramp up or not? Nah? 750. 761. Okay, so this is 754. Okay, well, there's a little pop. Can we tap 8 up here? Question. We had this previous level that looked like some kind of head and shoulders in here, but I wasn't sure what it was trying to do. If we can tap 8, let me throw shares up there at 8 if we can tap it. $8 would be great. And then I'll sell the rest manually if we can get that pop. Quick pop to 8, possibly. 8 cents. Oh, wow. Come on, bro. 90s. Then the rest I'll sell out down here at the 82s if it ends up acting crazy. Just a pop through the 8, man. My shares are already there. All right, got sold out there a little bit. Let's see if we can get over. If we can't, I'll sell out at 783. Oops. And there's 807s. Can we hold 8 a little bit? Just a little bit. Selling a little bit on the ask. Above 8s. Don't like this slowdown. Getting my sales out of there. And now it's wanting to look weak. So just taking my little McDonald's money and chilling out. I'm gonna let it reset. $8 whole dollar level was like the whole dollar level there that it was coming up to. Set the shares out there, and I was just like, let it do what it does. If it was a bigger pop, I would have still had half of the position to, do something with, but it is what it is. AIHS is for some reason looking like it turned a little bit. And then also LCFFY. What's the call out? No, AIHS is not turning around. LCFY though. What's the catalyst on this one? Trading higher, the company shares are trading higher after the company reported its AI sales team pilot campaign generated 18 meetings and 130 warm leads. Okay. AI sales team, 130 leads and 18 meetings. Okay. I don't know how that's going to hold up. Oh, well, it looks like it's not holding up. All right. Cent is down here kind of in a flat place as well. Not so sure about Cent. The percent gain has dropped significantly on that. LCFY, think about it. You're a marketing team. You haven't secured clients, right? You've secured 18 meetings to just kind of showcase what you have. And you've secured 130 warm leads. So basically people that they kind of either you have a connection with them because they know one of your agents or something. It's just a warm lead, or it might be just somebody that sent them to you from another business, right? So yeah, that could, but it hasn't. I guess we got to see if they get clients first for this to be worth the news, right? And that's why we see this Grim Reaper movement here, because it's like, wait a minute, they don't have clients. They have what was that just pop? They don't have clients. They have potential though. Potential. That's it. Is what it is though. SINT slowing down too much. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of SINT because I don't think that's coming back. AIHS, I don't think that's coming back either. All right, so again, STI could not get through that $8 level, whole dollar level. So it is what it is. The only thing that made me really want to sell it to 8 is because it had graphite news. I was like, man, if this thing gets up to the whole dollar, I bet it's gonna dump on me, man. It's rocks, man. Can't do anything with rocks. All right. Well, anyway, I'm gonna let it come back down. Maybe it'll bounce again at the 750 or whatnot. But you know, LCFY. Oh wow, AIHS moving like a Chinese stock. Down here to 3, up to 363. Just like a Chinese stock. I still am definitely on the fence on this one. I'm not as secure in trading Chinese stocks. Pressing the buy button hurts me. And if you go into a trade already in pain, I'm like, oh man, I hope this doesn't kill me. But yeah, it looks like it's sucking up quite a bit of volume. We'll see if that continues. So we're back down to STI 775. Now this is another time it's failed 8. So I'm really not trusting it. I just saw it come up and test these levels 770 a couple times. I was like, well, if it breaks down, I can just get out right here. But if it gives me a move, great. So it was from the 59, 759 up to like 8 something. So about 40 cents. Okay, let's go. Yeah, LCFY just continues to dump. 16. AIHS. We'll see what happens when it gets back to this point of control at 750. 750. Right now on the 5-minute, it does look a little spooky. Had that little run up and now coming on down. Hmm. Not a whole lot of trust in here. The ranges continue to get smaller too. This little move here was just, you know, it worked out, but will it do it again and again? I'm not sure. I don't think so, but we'll see. Going back up there, throwing a wick right under that 8. Point of control just moved up to 783, so that is not the greatest thing, because if it flips sides, will shorts be in control on the way down from this? See 782 there on the 1 minute. It's got room all the way down to 725. See those reds start coming in there. And it moved up again. So people are taking some actions up here. I'm seeing, what is that? It doesn't have any catalyst. Does it have catalyst shares trading higher? That's BMRA. BMRA. That's one that we've seen before. Up 32% here. BMRA. It does have a catalyst on the day. Says it has a kidney test for home use. And let's see what else it's got. Kidney test from home use. And then BioAmerica shares are trading higher after UAE Ministry of Health and Prevention approved the company's Fortel kidney test for home. BMRA, but it's kind of struggling. Right around this 30%. LCFY, I'm taking that one off. It got cooked. STI getting cooked from this point of control as well. AIHS, I don't know if I'm going to risk my soul on that one. Okay, so let's see. Scent just no motion anymore. GG, Guru. This one continues to hold up here. Didn't crash out just yet. Like I thought it was. It had a high here, 8, then a lower high, 790. What is the dash down going to look like? And where would it even stop here? So go to the 5 minute. I mean, 725 is the clearest level. But I'm not sure. It's got 40 million shares traded on it, though. It could push up. Let's see, what's this? 791. Not sure. 790s, but still lower highs. It could just pop right through that, but I'm not really willing to risk that. That is what, a 10, right around a 10-cent move, but it could dump 20 cents. That risk to reward is not looking palatable. All right, AIHS still funneling around this 350 level. Then BMRA, little choppy one. See another one popping up. What's this one? This is BTBD. What's that? BTBD. I don't even know what this one's got going on here. BTBD, what's your news here? BT Brands Aero Velocity Hastings Service CEO. Some kind of CEO news. It's a merger agreement here on BTBD. Merger agreement. What's the float on this one? Float is like 1.3 or 5.5 million on this one. BTBD. Appreciate you, Derek. Oh, let's see what happens, man. BTBD is now again merger agreements. We talked about supply and demand earlier, but sometimes mergers are really, really good for the company, and they can kind of go sideways for investors depending on the deal that is made by the company. So sometimes, you know, they'll have these gaps up and they'll go flat. Like they'll come to an agreement on a price and it'll go flat for the day. Sometimes on merger agreements, but this one, nice little movement up here, 242 up here to 393 million shares traded now. Look back at STI. So it did end up holding up again. Okay. Bottom of this is the 765, right on that point of control. See 786. Can it touch 8 again? Is that what it's trying to do? I don't know. This setup I'm not really fond of. It had to be a really quick motion to get up to that 8. All right, BMRA gate. Wow, that one gave back everything in a little bit. Okay, so taking that one off, only up 7% now. No go. AIHS still doing its thing. And this one's just kind of walking down the chart. I want something with range though, man. Last time I traded off 750. Has not gotten back down there yet. Top side of this is 784. Let's see how X around there, 725. Let's go back over to BTBD. And I typed that wrong. Oh, as soon as I switched, I saw it going up. Oh, man. All right, so we're up here, 791. Getting slopped back down. I don't like these wicks, man. I don't trust these wicks. Gotta watch this close. 860 was the previous level. What's the bottom of this? 777. Let it snatch down one more time just to see what happens here. It's right at that $8 level. 8. Right at that $8 level. Will we get a snatch down here? Yep, there it is. Yep, there it is. $8 whole dollar. Oh, wow, I'm glad I didn't buy that. Ooh, that would have hurt. That would have hurt. All right. The whole dollar level not really breaking like we would like to see it. AIHS still bundling around as well. Let's go back over to BTBD. As soon as I switched, I saw that one going up. I was like, oh man. All right, BTBD merger agreements. High point. Actually, let's go over to the daily chart and see what the high point here or the obvious levels are. Sometimes I forget to do that on these new ones that pop out. All right, so we had a high up here of 560. It is currently trading around $3, so right around the body of this candle right here. $2.75, $3, right under the 3. possible daily level it could bounce on. Mark that up. Possible daily level. Up top, not a whole lot of clear, obvious things, but this body we got. Let's jump out here, kind of zoom over. Not really seeing anything. Okay, so there was another test at 275. A little bit more of 275. A lot of things right at that 275. Okay. It is what it is. It's making its way down. Multiple candles on the 1 minute to the downside, though. Float. It's a low float for sure with 3 million shares traded. STI, let's jump back over there. It went down to down here to 770 after a big switch down there. Definitely probably hurt some feelings. AIHS continues. This Chinese stock continues to do these crazy little moves in here. So that's 30 cents right there on a $3 stock. It's got 20 million shares on it. BTBD went down here towards this 275, but I don't know if it's going to end up breaking it. It's got a lot of competition overhead with AIHS and STI. Okay, so it touched that 275 level on BTBD, which is that obvious level. I want to see how this closes. Will it get a bounce off of this 275 here? What was the news on this one? This is the merger, or what was this? Serve CEO. Yeah. So let's see how that 275 holds. I mean, this is a cheaper one too. It's kind of, will it even hold up the quote unquote obvious level? We don't even know. For the first candle, let's see, what is this? 292. Point of control right there at 296. Does it want to 275 there? Maybe it needs to retest it. If it slips on through it without any respect, that's going to not be great. So 282. All right, AIHS continues to bundle up. I think it's taking the wind from BTBD. AIHS was an automotive company from the Republic of China, Chinese company, making some moves out here. It says that their Q1 EPS is up from 15 cents up to 6, or no, EPS is Q1 was 0.15 up from 61 cents last year. So year over year sales are down only 10K. So, but you got to realize that their currency is different from US currency. So I don't know how 10K values over there, maybe 10K yen or something like that. All right, STI, you swat it down Are you ready to try to go up again? You ready to try to give me another go? Try it again. Got a bottom down here of 743. I'll get out if it comes down here. Looking for back over 70s. Can we see any more 70s? Had a nice little swat down. I want to see if people want to cover up here in this area above 775 again. 766. $7.44. I'm gonna be out. $7.50s. Let's see you get back over this level of the 765. If not, I'm out. Can we see 760? May add over 760. Can I get my ad? Oh, this is selling. I'm tripping. Selling. That's my fault. For those 60s to come on out. So we got a bottom down here. I'll be out at 743. My average is 768. Looking for a retest up here, 775 if possible. See a little bit of volume coming in there right there. So I'm definitely gonna be cautious here around this 750 level. And if it does break out, I'm gonna be looking at that 750 as an out. If it breaks to what 765s, we'll see if we can do it. Show me a little movement. We got point of control up here, 775. Okay, and actually I'm gonna be looking to sell some at 775. This thing might move quicker than I'm ready for. 7. Let's do some at 780 touch. We'll sell 5 there. Then 7. What else? 780. Sell a little bit at 775. And then we'll spread the rest out in between. just in case it pops. I'm already set up. Or it may just stop me out if it doesn't want to pop here. So 68, that's not going to be 10 cents. 10 cents is going to start at 780. So 780 is where I would like to start taking. But it's going to have to show me something. With this slowdown, 750 is looking more and more like the place I need to be out. Let me get ready for that 750 drawdown if it crashes here. $764. Need to see it past that 769. Okay. That's okay. So yeah, I do need to be getting ready. Can we get a pop? Now the bottom of this is 763. That'll be the out. Let's see if we can get 775 up there. But 750 definitely gonna be my out. Yep. 750. If you want to play, I will be out. Looking to move it up, possibly to 760 if it continues to fail here. Want to see that 75 real quick. There's 74. Can we hold 75 for just a moment? Okay. Okay, you're not playing ball. All right, so 6, 7. You're not playing ball with me, big boy. Go ahead and, whoops, I thought that was the whole thing. Okay, I did get out the whole thing. Very small. I was looking for it to crack that 775. It wouldn't even made it to that 780 that I had marked up at first. It is what it is right there. 2 week. Giving another little bit. Okay, BTBD right back up to this 275 now. Okay, so it is holding that level. That was the obvious level for it. Okay. This one is a little bit cheaper. This will move from cent. That's 20 cents though. 75 up to $3. I just looked at it and saw it at the corner of my eye, but yeah, that one's already there. This one falling back through that 750. Again, stopping. Yeah, you need to get back up over 763s, really. Need to even think about playing you. AIHS coming on down. BTBD right at that whole $3 level. Let's see what else we got. What is this one? We got ARTL. ARTL up here. It's a little bit higher price. Maybe giving us a little bit more. ARTL. Are you serious? ARTL. This one right here. ARTL. It's a little bit higher price movement. Only 33,000 shares traded. Just up and down, huh? Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. That was barely up 21, so I'm going to chill on that. All right, back over here towards STI 750s. Let's see if it'll go ahead and crash out. Still holding up that 750. Letting this one close up. I got a couple minutes. I got 15 minutes. I got a meeting, so I'm gonna be jumping off here anyway. But yeah, just looking around the market, seeing what there is to play and whatnot during pre-market. Um, let's see if we can get over 758. 758. 751. Can we see 55s? 55s. 53s. Can we get over 58? And then I'll have 50 as my out. Mm, 54. Okay, 53, 54. Mm, 55 with the SWAT down. Got in there. I'm going to use the 50 as my out. Adding there on the 58 and using 50 as an out. See where it wants to go from here. So we got point of control up there at 76, and my out is down here at 750 if it doesn't want to play ball. Point of control just moved down. Can we move on up through there? Get 775 and all that good stuff. We need a breakout, really. Breakout of 776 would be dope. But 750, I will be out. Yep, you do all that. We ready. We ready to get out. Holding that 58. Ooh, we're so ready to get out. 10 cents away. Can we get a break of this level here though? 770s. Looking to move it on up to the 52. 752 is an out. I mean, I see you trying, but you're not breaking nothing. Okay, now definitely 752s is an out. Because if it slams here, that's going to be ugly. It needs to actually break 768s. $750. If I see 52, I'm out. Not seeing any pops here. Out right there. Close enough. Enough weakness for me for it to get out. Looking for back over 58. Yeah, 52 and 51. All right. Top side of this is 758. Man, I'm finna get off of here. I gotta get ready for this meeting for sure. I got 8 minutes. About to get off of here. For real. For Rizio. I gave it some tries. It is what it is. I was looking for it to get a little bit more explosive, but it's a graphite name, so it's not something that's killing the game for sure. BTBD came off that 275 we had looked at, went up to 265 with 12 million shares. Yeah, I gotta get off of here, man. I gotta go because I don't want to get stuck in a trade and then I got a meeting that's gonna be thrown focus and all that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off, and I'll circle back with y'all in the Discord. The Discord is free. The link has been dropped to the Discord. That's where we continue conversations. But yeah, let me get ready for this meeting because I really don't want to be in a trade and stupid things happening. Look at this thing throwing some stuff back up here like that. What is that? Was that 758? I'm not gonna do it. Let me shut it down. All right, y'all. For real though, I gotta peace out. And as always, if you guys are gonna continue trading, definitely keep your head on a swivel. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning during pre-market. But yeah, that's it for me today. And peace.